Gavin de Becker, The Gift of Fear, and Other Survival Signals That Protect Us from Violence. In the book, The Gift of Fear, and Other Survival Signals That Protect Us from Violence, Gavin de Becker explores the importance of human intuition in identifying and avoiding dangerous situations. Throughout the book, de Becker details various examples and case studies where ignoring intuition led to life-threatening consequences. By learning to recognize signs of danger, becoming more empathetic, and understanding the innate body language of violent people, the reader can hone their intuition and respond to potential threats more effectively. The book also discusses different tactics used by criminals to manipulate their victims, as well as the impact of abuse on an individual's sense of fear and their ability to protect themselves.
The power of intuition. Dreams and intuition can provide warnings of potential danger. Michael Cantrell, a police officer, observed this power in action when his partner, David Patrick, ignored his intuition and was shot during a traffic stop. Cantrell advises listening to your intuition to avoid dangerous situations. Forced teaming, the criminal's trick. Criminals often use forced teaming, a tactic that involves pretending to be a friend to the victim to gain trust and accomplish their devious goals. This technique can be hard to spot and can only be seen through with highly developed intuition. In this book, the author explains how intuition can help detect such tactics, even in subtle situations, and avoid becoming a victim of forced teaming. The book also discusses the use of charm as a tool for manipulating intuition and how to recognize when someone is using it for their own gain, by understanding whether the charm is natural or forced. The author uses real-life examples to illustrate the dangers of forced teaming and the importance of trusting one's intuition. This book is a must-read for anyone who wants to develop their intuition and avoid falling prey to similar tricks. Decoding the language of violence. Learning to identify body language signals can help prevent unsuspected violent attacks. This is because individuals often display signals unconsciously, and criminals are no exception. The first step in identifying potential perpetrators is recognizing universal signs of aggression, such as a jutting chin or flaring nostrils. It is also essential to look out for staring, unrelenting eye contact, which usually precedes a violent outburst. Empathy also plays a critical role in detecting individuals who may resort to violence. Attempting to see from their perspective helps to evaluate the risk of attack. Additionally, understanding the perpetrator's motivation is crucial. For instance, a person who wants their job back might not turn violent since it might reduce their chances. Conversely, someone who seeks revenge might pose a significant threat. Learning to read and understand the body language of potential attackers can help one stay alert and avoid danger. Overcoming fear, how to handle threats. When faced with bullies or bomb threats, our instinctive reaction is to feel afraid and panic. However, this only gives power to the aggressor or criminal. To deal with such situations, we need to overcome our fear and stand up to them. Bullies thrive on the fear of their victims, and terrorists count on our panic. We must learn to distinguish empty threats from real ones. A person calling in a bomb threat in a loud, aggressive voice often wants to create fear and anxiety. On the other hand, real threats come from people who are patient and seldom dramatic. By recognizing these signs, we can be better prepared to handle such situations. We can learn to call a bluff and not give in to fear. It's essential to be cautious, but we must not allow ourselves to be terrorized. Remember, if the goal was to do real harm, a call probably wouldn't have been made. Not all harmless. The tragic effects of ignoring real signs of danger. There's an old saying, things are not always as they seem. This is exemplified in our perceptions of stalking cases, where some instances could lead to harm while others are not as threatening. The book uses examples to highlight the dangers of ignoring the signs of potential danger. An instance where things seemed harmless is the story of John Searing, who wrote 800 letters to The Tonight Show host, Johnny Carson, requesting that the host introduce him on air with his catchphrase, "Here's Johnny." Though his letters were persistent, they never contained threatening messages, and the producers eventually invited him to the show. This example shows that not all stalkers are dangerous. However, it's essential to evaluate each case carefully. These warnings became more critical in school shootings, where vital signs of possible harm couldn't be ignored. The tragic effect of ignoring such signals is shown through the Simon's Rock shooting in 1992, where student Wayne Lowe went on a killing spree. Lowe had earlier received a package with suspicious writings on it, but instead of investigating it, the school sent a supervisor to talk with him. Despite an anonymous call warning of the planned shooting, the police were never alerted, leading to the death of 6 people. By ignoring the signs of potential danger, some situations that seem harmless can lead to tragedies. The addictive nature of abuse. Abuse can become addictive, as the emotional relief that comes when the violence stops creates an intense high that victims become reliant on. This addiction dulls the natural fear instinct, and victims may not recognize dangerous situations. Victims also feel the urge to stay in an abusive relationship as a source of security and family stability. Such relationships can lead to a loss of instinct to seek help from others. Child sexual abuse, the importance of prevention in schools. Children being sexually abused by other children is a disturbing reality that could be prevented if schools take appropriate precautions. In this book, a case study is presented where a school failed to protect its students even after receiving warnings about a student's disruptive behavior, which included inappropriate sexual conduct towards younger children. The school principal ignored the warning signs and failed to take appropriate measures. Instead, the school only placed restrictions on the student's bathroom usage but failed to inform teachers or custodians about his actions. Even worse, a younger classmate was asked to monitor the student instead of an adult. The book emphasizes that schools should take appropriate measures to protect their students and communicate with their guards.
The overarching message of The Gift of Fear is the crucial role human intuition plays in our self-preservation. By trusting and refining our intuition, individuals can better identify and avoid potentially dangerous situations. De Becker emphasizes the need not to ignore our gut feelings, but to recognize the warning signs and take appropriate action. Moreover, understanding tactics employed by criminals, such as forced teaming and charm manipulation, can improve our ability to detect harmful intentions. By staying vigilant, observant, and empathetic, one can develop their intuition, ultimately leading to a safer and more secure life.